Hi guys, and welcome to Jennifer's Life. I have a new one for you. Usually we hear about narcissism, but this is another alternative. Normative Male Alexithymia. Normative male alexithymia refers to the culturally reinforced tendency for men to have difficulty identifying, expressing, and processing their emotions. This phenomenon is rooted in social expectations that men should be stoic, unemotional, and self-reliant, which can lead to an underdevelopment of emotional intelligence and self-awareness. Normative male alexithymia refers to the tendency for men to have difficulty identifying, expressing, and processing their emotions. This is often due to social expectations that men should be unemotional and self-reliant. As a result, men with NMA may feel disconnected from their own feelings and struggle to connect with the emotions of others. One key characteristic of NMA is a suppression of emotions due to society expectations that men should be strong, stoic, and unemotional. Many men with this tendency find it extremely difficult to express their own feelings. They may appear calm and composed even in highly emotional situations as a result of habitually keeping their emotions bottled up inside. This emotional repression can lead to a sense of disconnection from one's own inner experiences. Additionally, men with NMA often struggle to identify and describe their own emotions. They may lack the vocabulary and self-awareness to articulate what they are feeling, making it challenging for them to process and understand their emotional experiences. This inability to recognize and label emotions can further contribute to a sense of emotional detachment. The combination of emotion suppression and difficulty identifying feelings can lead to significant interpersonal challenges for men with NMA. Their inability to express emotions and empathize with others can make it hard for them to form close, intimate relationships. They may come across as distant, unempathetic, and out of touch, creating barriers in their personal and professional connections. NMA is often rooted in society and cultural norms that discourage men from expressing their emotions openly. The emphasis on traditional masculinity, which values stoicism and emotional suppression, can lead many men to struggle with identifying and communicating their feelings. This society pressure to conform to a certain ideal of masculinity can make it challenging for men to develop the necessary emotional skills and self-awareness required to understand and articulate their inner experiences. Additionally, a lack of emotional education and role models who demonstrate healthy emotional expression can contribute to the development of NMA. Boys are often socialized to believe that expressing emotions is a sign of weakness, which can make it challenging for them to develop the necessary emotional skills and self-awareness. This lack of emotional literacy and exposure to positive examples of emotional expression can perpetuate the cycle of emotional detachment and difficulty in expressing oneself. Trauma, abuse, or other adverse childhood experiences can also play a significant role in the emergence of NMA. When men are not provided with a safe and supportive environment to process their emotions, they may learn to detach from their feelings as a coping mechanism. This emotional disconnection can become ingrained over time, making it even more difficult for them to reconnect with and express emotions in adulthood. Ultimately, the cause of normative male alexithymia is deeply rooted in society, cultural, and personal factors that discourage and undermine the development of emotional awareness and expression in men. Addressing these complex issues will be crucial in helping men overcome the challenges of NMA and cultivate a healthier, more expressive relationship with their emotions. NMA can significantly impact the intimate relationships in a number of profound ways. At the core of the issue is a difficulty these men have in expression and processing their emotions. This fundamental challenge creates substantial barriers in forming meaningful emotional connected relationships with partners. One of the key difficulties is the lack of emotional intimacy that often arises. Men with NMA may struggle to open up and share their true feelings with their partners, leaving them feel shut out and unable to truly understand and support their loved ones. This emotional distance can breed loneliness, frustration, and a profound sense of disconnect within the relationship. The inability to articulate, express emotions often leads to strained communication between partners. Without the ability to clearly convey their inner experiences, feelings, and needs, these men may leave their partners feeling confused, unsure of how to respond, and ultimately unable to meet the emotional need requirements. This can further exacerbate the communication issues at the heart of the relationship. Ultimately, NMA has a profound negative impact on intimate relationships, causing emotional distance, lack of intimacy, and significant difficulties in fostering the deep, meaningful connections that are so essential for healthy, fulfilling partnerships. Addressing and overcoming this challenge requires a combination of individual and relational interventions targeted at improving emotional awareness, expression, and communication skills. NMA, characterized by difficulty identifying and expressing emotions, can have significant and far-reaching impacts on an individual's mental health. At the core of this issue is the tendency for men with NMA to suppress and minimize their emotional experiences, often as a result of society pressures and expectations around masculinity. This emotional suppression can lead to a range of mental health challenges, including increased levels of stress, anxiety, and even depression. As men struggle to process and cope with their inner feelings, they may find themselves overwhelmed by these powerful emotions, leading to a decline in overall psychological well-being. In an effort to numb or avoid their emotions, men with NMA may turn to unhealthy coping mechanisms, such as substance abuse. This can further exacerbate mental health issues, creating a vicious cycle of addiction and deteriorating mental health. Tragically, the very society norms that contribute to normative male alexithymia can also make it extremely difficult for these men to seek professional help that they so desperately need, leading to delayed intervention and a worsening of symptoms over time. Addressing the complex interplay between NMA and mental health will be a crucial step in supporting the overall well-being of men. By fostering a deep understanding of the issue and promoting a more open and empathetic dialogue around emotional expression, we can work to dismantle the harmful norms that have been long perpetuated the challenge and help men navigate the path towards greater emotional awareness and self-care. Men with NMA often struggle to identify and express their emotions. They may feel pressure to be stoic and strong, which can lead to emotional suppression. This emotional suppression can have significant consequences for the men's personal relationships and mental health. By suppressing their feelings, men may feel disconnected from themselves and struggle to form deep, meaningful connections with others. They may also experience increased levels of stress, anxiety, and even depression as a result of bottling up their emotions. The root of this issue lies in society norms and expectations around masculinity. Many boys and men are taught from a young age that expressing emotions is a sign of weakness and that they must maintain a tough, unemotional exterior. This can be extremely challenging for them to open up and be vulnerable, even when they desperately need support. Addressing the problem of emotional suppression in men is crucial for improving their overall well-being. By fostering a more open and understanding environment that encourages men expression, we can help men develop better self-awareness, communication skills, and the ability to seek help when needed. This, in turn, can lead to healthier, more fulfilling lives for men and their loved ones. Normative Male Alexithymia is a condition characterized by profound difficulty in identifying, processing, and expressing emotions. At the core of this issue is society pressure placed on men to adhere to traditional notions of masculinity, which often prioritize stoicism, strength, and emotional control over vulnerability and emotional expression. One of the key manifestations of NMA is a tendency to suppress or minimize the outward expression of emotions. Men with this condition may feel compelled to bottle up their feelings, fearing that any display of vulnerability or emotional sensitivity will be perceived as a sign of weakness. This emotional suppression can stem from a lifetime of conditioning that reinforces the idea that men should be unemotional and in control at all times. Alongside this suppression of emotions, NMA is also characterized by a diminished ability to identify and describe one's own emotional experiences. This lack of emotional awareness can make it profoundly challenging for men to articulate how they are feeling, even to themselves. Without the language or the permission to acknowledge their inner emotional state, these individuals may find themselves increasingly disconnected from their own feelings and the emotional experiences of those around them. Addressing the difficulty in expressing emotions adhere to normative male alexithymia requires a multifaceted approach that challenges the society norms and expectations that have long perpetuated the issue. By fostering a more inclusive and understanding environment that values emotional expression and vulnerability in men, we can empower individuals with NMA to break free from the constraints of emotional suppression and cultivate a healthier, more fulfilling way of being. In many traditional and patriarchal cultures, stoicism and emotional detachment are often seen as an ideal for masculinity. Men are expected to suppress their emotions and always appear strong, in control, and unemotional, even when facing personal struggles. This society pressure to conform to rigid masculine norms can contribute to the development of NMA. As men struggle to reconcile their inner emotional experiences with the external expectations placed on them, the dominant narrative in traditional masculinity is that openly expressing emotions, especially vulnerable ones like sadness or fear, is a sign of weakness. This belief can make it incredibly difficult for men to acknowledge, process, and communicate their emotions, as they fear being perceived as less manly or capable by others. This perception of emotional expression as a weakness further reinforces the challenges of NMA. The emphasis on self-reliance, emotional distance, and the suppression of vulnerability in masculine norms can also lead to profound discomfort with emotional intimacy and vulnerability, both in oneself and in interpersonal relationships. This discomfort can exacerbate the difficulties faced by individuals with NMA as they struggle to connect with their own emotions and foster meaningful, emotionally fulfilling connections with others. The roots of NMA are deeply embedded in the society expectations and the cultural narrative surrounding masculinity. Addressing this issue requires a fundamental shift in the way we as a society view and define what it means to be a man. By challenging the rigid gender norms that prioritize emotional suppression and valuing vulnerability and emotional expression in men, we can create a more inclusive and supportive environment for individuals struggling with NMA to thrive. Ultimately, the path to overcoming NMA lies in fostering a greater understanding and acceptance of the full range of human emotions, regardless of gender. By the redefining of masculinity to include the capacity for emotional awareness, expression, and intimacy, we can empower men to embrace their emotional experiences and cultivate a more fulfilling, authentic lives. It can be very hard to identify NMA. Many men don't even realize they have trouble expressing their emotions. They were taught that showing feelings is a sign of weakness, so they hide their struggles even from themselves. Another problem is that men with NMA may seem calm and controlled on the outside, even when they are having a hard time inside. This makes it difficult for others to recognize the issue and get them help. There is also a stigma around men seeking help for mental health. Many believe that asking for support is a sign of weakness. We need to change this view and create an environment where men feel safe opening up about their emotions. It's important for men to become more aware of and comfortable expressing their emotions. Many men have been taught from a young age to suppress their feelings, which can lead to difficulties in relationships and mental health issues. By creating a safe, non-judgmental space, we can help men learn to notice and name their emotions. Practicing sharing emotions whether through writing, role-playing, or open conversations can also be tremendously beneficial. This allows men to get more comfortable expressing themselves and builds their emotional intelligence over time. It's important to start small and provide encouragement rather than pushing them to open up in ways they may not be ready for. Ultimately, seeking professional support, such as working with a therapist, can be life-changing for men who struggle with emotional expression. A trained mental health professional can help men develop the skills and confidence to communicate their feelings in a healthy, productive way. This can lead to deeper, more fulfilling relationships and a greater sense of overall well-being. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, manage, and reason with emotion. It is a critical component of personal and professional success, as it enables individuals to build stronger relationships, make better decisions, and cope more effectively with stress and challenges. Developing emotional intelligence involves cultivating self-awareness, empathy, and the capacity to regulate one's own emotions. Normative Male Alexithymia, where men are socialized to suppress and avoid expressing emotions, can pose a significant obstacle to developing emotional intelligence. This disconnect between thoughts and feelings can make it difficult for men to understand and manage their own emotions, as well as empathize with the emotions of others. The deeply ingrained belief that seeking help or openly discussing one's feelings is a sign of weakness can prevent many men from taking the first steps towards understanding and addressing their conditions. Breaking down these harmful society norms, fostering an environment of emotional openness and psychological safety is essential for facilitating the recognition and treatment of NMA. Only by addressing this challenge can men develop the emotional intelligence necessary to thrive in personal and professional settings. Men with NMA often struggle to talk about their feelings. They may find it very difficult to explain what they are feeling, even to close loved ones. This may lead to misunderstanding and challenges in their professional and personal relationships. These men may also have a more passive communication style, avoiding directly expressing their thoughts, opinions, and needs. This can make it hard for them to speak up, assert themselves, or collaborate effectively in group settings. The underlying belief that emotional expression is a sign of weakness can prevent them from opening up and connecting with others on a deeper level. To improve communication skills, men with NMA can work on becoming more aware of their emotions and learning healthy ways to express them. Counseling or therapy can help them understand the root cause of their emotional suppression and develop strategies to overcome it. With practice and support, they can learn to communicate their feelings, thoughts, and perspectives more openly and effectively. This process requires courage and vulnerability, as it may involve challenging deeply ingrained society norms around masculinity. However, the rewards can be significant: improved relationships, greater self-awareness, and a stronger self of emotional well-being. By embracing emotional expression, men can unlock their full potential and lead more fulfilling lives. To break the cycle, get help to express your feelings in healthier ways. Improve relationships by developing better communication and connections with others. Enhance mental health, or reduce risks of issues like depression and anxiety. Develop emotional intelligence to learn better understanding and express your emotions. Improve communication skills to express your thoughts and needs more openly and effectively. NMA is a common issue that affects how men express their emotions. We need to understand this condition and provide support. Many men struggle to talk about their feelings due to society pressure and gender norms. This can lead to challenges in their relationships and personal growth. By increasing emotional awareness and communication skills, men can overcome the challenges of NMA. They need access to mental health resources and support to develop their emotional intelligence. Addressing the root cause of emotional suppression in men is crucial. We must challenge traditional masculinity norms and ensure mental health services are accessible and tailored to men's needs. Overcoming NMA is not easy, but it's necessary to create a society where emotional expression is valued for all genders. With education, advocacy, and holistic support, men can unlock their full potential. Good luck.